Hello all, welcome to Civils360's daily public administration. Today we are going to discuss the important topics which is related to urban development or coming in the paper 2, chapter 11, 12, etc. The same topic of urban migration issues in delivering services will be discussed today. So as similar to the earlier attempts, we will also look into the ideas of daily news article, key points, relevance, and how to apply these in your questions. So the first idea, the first article that we are going to mention is cities that care. That is how the urban poor cannot be afterthought, or master plans and local bodies must be how local bodies must be getting up to give the welfare of migrants, or how a local body can focus upon the welfare of migrants. That will be identified today. And the relevance in syllabus, this is directly related to the urban local government in this paper 2, and also development dynamics, politics and administration with special reference to city management. So especially you can use this in your development dynamics and urban local bodies, and also this is also how politics and administration should be connected. This is also related to this. And the key points that you should identify, or you will be identifying in this chapter, is the rapid economic progress. India needs to ensure rapid economic progress, India needs to improve the well-being of workforce. Or for example, we can say that connected with the idea of inclusive development. To ensure inclusive development, one should focus primarily on the quality of workforce. That is very important. And also social protection related registration of informal workers has increased, but the nature of opportunities continues to be insecure. That is, still the work is not yet connected to the quality of development, or development is not happening in the especially in the informal sector. You can also mention this under the idea of jobless growth. You can also identify here. And next one is there are displacement of people because of the mechanization of job. With the development of mechanization of job, there is a huge displacement of people dependent on farms, trail of migrants in search of livelihoods happening on a daily basis. And remember that there is an idea, that is a fact that can be utilized in your answer, that is half of India is expected to urbanize by 2030, and at least half of that population could be such migrants. So half of India is expected to be urbanized by 2030, but remember that the remaining at least the half of the population could be the migrants from regions, or the migrants will be primarily displaced people from the rural areas. And also in China and India, if you are considering the ideas of China and India, we can say that around 30% of urban clubs is currently located in China and India. That is also another fact that can be utilized in your answer. And remember this region, how the people, or more than 20% of majority region are migrating to others. Such migration is more than 20% in these regions: New Delhi, Chandigarh, Dhamman, Mumbai suburban, etc. So remember these things. We are not going to all the details of this. In public administration, you need to get the ideas. Okay, already we have mentioned about the facts which is related to the happening. What are the issues of migration? So in relation to that, you should keep in mind, or you should try to understand the existing situations or conditions, or keep the locations which are very much primarily related to the ideas of migration. And next one is remember the idea of lack of social security, and there are certain issues faced by, that is, we are going to look into the issues faced by migrant population. First one is, as everyone knows, it is social security and health benefits. There are no social security benefit or health benefits happening for migrant laborers. And also lack of portability of state provided benefits, especially in the PDS system. That is, if PDS is available in one locality, it cannot be ported to other region. There are certain issues, or there are certain challenges in ensuring the portability of state provided benefits. And also there is lack of access to affordable housing and basic amenities. Affordable housing is not available in the cities, especially in the urban conglomerates. There are certain issues in ensuring the affordable housing for all. And remember that in delivering service to urban poor, one should remember the idea of Interstate Migrant Workmen Act of 1979, which state that labor contractors who are recruiting the migrants will be licensed, registered migrant workers with the government authority, and also arrange for the worker to be issued a passbook recording their identity. And also there are certain guidelines regarding wages and protections as well. Remember that if you are being asked by UPSC about how the issue of migrant laborers can be resolved, you should also mention about the Interstate Migrant Workmen Act of 1979. That will definitely add content and clarity to your answers. Next one is related to the what can make or how these can be improved, or how these solutions, what are the solutions related to the issues faced by urban poor. That is, the first one is elected leadership in urban local bodies at the basti or slum cluster level. That is, there should be a elected leadership. You can mention about the idea of democratic decentralization. Next comes the idea of population of an urban ward varies from 1500 to 6000 in smaller towns and 80,000 to 2 lakh. There should be a restriction, and also this large population should be given with representation, especially in the urban local bodies. That is, 2 lakh people in a metro is very huge number, or the comparative population is also very high. So that must also be identified. And next comes the Article 235S states that nothing in this article shall be deemed to prevent the legislature of a state from making any provision for the constitution of committees in addition to the ward committees. That is, constitution therefore does not come in the way to much needed reform. That is, if we say that there should not be any ward committees, or constitution does not say so, the Article 243 S, that is Article 243S, is primarily saying that the state legislature can make provision for representation of any sections. That can also be mentioned in your answer. And remember that there are certain other issues. That is, half of the urban population does not have cheap food grains under NFSA. NFSA is not spread among the urban population, poor urban population, and also there is a need for understanding the identity markers as well as record the deprived households. If there is a deprivation in the household, we should also identify that. And there is a mentioning that the participatory identification of poor by a community connect process. That is, participatory governance is also mentioned. That is, when you identify the beneficiaries for NFSA, you should also focus on the idea of participatory identification. Ensure participation, participatory governance, and also there should be portability through One Nation, One Ration Card scheme. These are required for that, required for the benefits of urban poor. And next comes is once the deprived households are identified, special community connect campaign, citizen-centric approach should be there, where to ensure social welfare schemes including EPFO, ESI, Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, PMJ, Ayushman Bharat, employment schemes, everything should be connected to these people. That is, people's demand should be satisfied. That is, there should be a public choice approach. You can connect it with public choice approach. The individual choice must be ensured. After we identify the beneficiaries, their demand should be satisfied. And next comes the complete coverage of deprived households by SHGs. There should be a strong system of SHGs, and also women collective, basti level or slum level women's collective should be there. And this is in relation to the neoliberal model of development, where people participate in the process of development. That is, to address the issue of difficult challenges, the neoliberal model where the people directly participate in the development model should be processed. And also there is Swanidhi scheme. You can also connect with the ideas of street vendors getting loans. This is also a neoliberal model. And the next ones are just the primary broad ideas, that is providing skilling, upskilling, reskilling opportunities, and also census towns, that is population is high, these should be developed and these should be given as support with the infrastructure and also employment opportunities in these clusters, that is census towns should be developed and it should be made into clusters with infrastructure facility and also livelihood opportunities, so that we can reduce the burden over urban centers. And next one is in relation to the ideas of health facility expansion and also connecting deprived, how the deprived household should be connected to the human development requirements. That is, there should be initially there should be a strict minimum code implementation, there should be master plans in relation to the housing and welfare needs of working class. We have already mentioned that the affordable housing is another issue of urban poor, urban migrant poor. So there should be ideas in relation to housing, ensuring housing and welfare needs of working class. And these, where you can apply these ideas. In 2018 there was a question, neighborhood management provides an appropriate global strategy for dealing with social exclusion. How social exclusion can be eliminated through neighborhood management. You can quote all these ideas in this question. For example, comment what are the issues, we have mentioned about the issues, what are the solutions, how they can be ensured, what participating, how participative governance can be brought into, how citizenship approach can be brought into, how neoliberal like Basti level women representatives, neoliberal approach can be brought into. We have already mentioned. You can definitely write this examination. If you want, you can write this examination questions and send us back to our official number, search for Civils360 IAS. We can give you feedbacks if you need. Okay, you can write these answers and send us back. Next one is ward committees in urban local governance have remained more diverse. The ideal of realizing effective people's participation in collaboration with local functionaries is still in the pipeline. Evaluate the gap and in the practice. You can also mention along with these points, along with mentioning the ideas of urban poor, urban issues, you can also mention the second ARC recommendation, where second ARC mentioned that there should be ward level committees below or area based committees below the ward committees. There is also mentioning about area based committees which will be working under the ward level committee. You can also mention that. And next one is contemporary urbanism advocates the integration of diverse modes of urban planning and management concern. Discuss the above statement in light of urban development in India. Here also you can mention the issues, solutions, etc. So when you write answers in the coming the last 4 or 5 years, there were specific focus on these kind of ideas, how neighborhood could be managed, or what are the conditions, or how the urban poor must be provided with opportunities, how livelihood can be improved. So try to remember these ideas while you answer the questions. Similar things will be there in your coming sessions. Try to keep up. We will also post these on a regular basis, so keep in mind.